Well, it is, of course, the festive time, and we said a lot about the online sales, the dhoom dhamaka that has been offered by Amazon and Flipkart. But guess what? There are startups that are also targeting the offline world. You remember the old times when we would just go to high streets and markets and melas and look for offers? We put in the spotlight on one of those startups today. It's called Magicpin. It's headquartered out of Gurgaon, and the founder is someone who understands the startup world better than most people. He's also been an investor and been with the early stage investing firm Lightspeed in his previous avatar. Anshu of Magicpin now joining us. Hi Anshu, welcome to Startup Central. We decided to get you here when people are hopefully shopping and helping the economy get better and back on its feet this Diwali season. Tell us a little bit first about Magicpin.
Hey, thank you so much for having me here. Sure, let me start with Magicpin and then come to what we plan to do this Diwali. Our mission is to drive discovery for offline retail. The name Magicpin comes from pin a location on the map, and we'll show you the people, places, and rewards that are hidden all around us. And the idea with which we started is that retail is such a large market. 95% of it is offline, but today, because there is no data about that offline market, because of the fragmented retail ecosystem with millions of merchants and the mode of payment being still primarily cash, that it becomes hard for technology to transform how discovery happens, which we've seen that on the online commerce side can truly bring so much power and just evolve discovery and commerce. And that is the starting point for Magicpin, that how do we use data to connect users, retailers, and manufacturing brands? How do we bring data that transforms the discovery for this retail ecosystem?
So now tell me what you have planned for this Diwali. I believe you're coming out with some bonanza, some festival of sorts.
Yeah. So so this Diwali, we want to pull people away from their mobile screens and any sorts of screens for that matter, and bring them back to the real world that consists of their friends, their families, our local stores, those storekeepers in those stores, right? The entire stuff there. And we've got some great large retailer partnerships. Shopper Stop is bringing this whole festival. Cafe Coffee Day is the supporting partner. But then you've got millions of retailers all across the country that are creating reward opportunities for our users to come and shop at these stores. We expect that just this month we will get to a run rate of close to $1 billion, right? Which is a result of this being a festive season. But on top of that, this dhamaka of sorts that we're trying to run for Diwali should get us to that threshold.
Anshu, you got to tell me something. You know, before you started Magicpin, you were at Lightspeed, an early stage investor firm which has kind of discovered some of the largest Indian internet companies, you know, whether it's a Baiju or an Oyo and all of that. You're now doing something totally different, which is trying to get the buzz back to outside of the internet, back to what you're calling to be the real world. How did that happen?
Yeah, no, it's actually, while the way you put it, it sounds like it is opposite, but really the connecting point is still the same. It is that we are all spending our lives so much in the screens, and that's the transformation that has happened. It's not stopping. What we need to do is we need to plug a lot of the real world into the screen, and that's what Magicpin is doing. Magicpin is saying that technology should transform the largest retail market, which is offline. And the way that transformation is going to happen is because of the fact that we'll plug smartphone into all of these stores at the user side as well as the retailer side. So it might feel different, but it's actually two sides of the same coin.
Okay, I take your point. You're basically using technology to make sure that all of us shoppers still get very good deals when we go to the markets and all of that. I get your point. But Anshu, now tell me something, and which is this. When we talk about the Amazons, the Flipkarts, and the cashbacks and all of that, the consumers now used to, or at least believes, is getting a hefty discount, right? So with Magicpin, what kind of deals are they getting? What kind of discounts are they getting? I know it's rewards, but if you were to translate it, because the person, a consumer is only going to have so much money to spend in a festive season, right?
Yeah. See, yeah, so let me step back and explain a little bit how Magicpin works, because then it will become more clear as to how do we reward, benefit, or give discounts to users. So the way Magicpin works is that we issue Magicpin points to our users for whenever they would go to a store and whatever they shop, they send us a receipt, a picture of the receipt from that store, as well as we ask us to send a selfie from that store. Now, amassed over millions of transactions that we get every month, we are able to form patterns around who likes what category, what frequency, and even what specific products. And because of that understanding, we then allow them to go and burn those points that we'd issued them at our partners. So in a way, it's like a rewards program, which is earn for all the spends that they do, but then pointed back to our partners. So in some cases, the earnings I've had, I might be able to go to a shopper stop and like offset my entire bill of that purchase from the points that I've got. In a way, it could come as 100% discount, right? But the difference is that it's a constant earn and burn cycle. It isn't that Magicpin is discounting at the cost of these retailers. It's a continuous process where they would earn, the users would earn over a period, and then
You
they would
reward
accumulate.
loyalty.
And they
You
would
reward loyalty. It's like an airline rewards
yeah,
loyalty or a
exactly,
hotel chain rewards loyalty.
Yeah.
But how do
Yeah.
you make money?
It's exactly.
How do you make money?
Yeah.
I know you must have figured that part out. How does Magicpin make money?
No, we've been quite cognizant of that right from our beginning, and that comes a little bit from the background that we've had, right? So our business model is straightforward. We charge our partners a percentage of whatever business we drive to their store. The interesting thing, even about what I said just now, is that we are like performance marketing platform for offline. Like in a way, you would say Google AdWords, right? You could pay and get clicks, but Google stops at clicks. We go all the way to delivering revenue to our partners, and for that, those partners are happy to pay us a cut. What is also interesting is that whatever our partners are paying us, when the redemption happens at their store, they've got an opportunity to earn it back from us, which makes it very interesting for them. They're in some cases paying in kind, and we are happy to be paid in kind because we can trade off that value for our users, because that's the primary cost that we run. So a simple way to say how do we make our money is that whatever business we give to our partners, we charge them a cut of that.
And, you know, because you're also rewarding loyalty, and I understand it might be still in the nascent stages, any interesting insights you've got as far as consumers this festive season goes? On one side, we keep hearing that there is a big slowdown, but then you hear all these stories about how big the Amazon, Flipkart deals have been, or how many new cars are being booked, etc. The narrative has started changing in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and at least I'd say that from a consumption point of view, like there's no slowdown. We've grown 5x in the last 8 months. And I was telling you, right, we are just about to cross $1 billion GMV run rate. Now, part of that, I would say we are a younger company that's growing fast, but at $1 billion scale, it's no small scale. Also, it's not just a pattern that I can see is isolated. This growth is coming across cities, across categories, perhaps a little bit more also coming in from the smaller cities because they are starting off a smaller base. But this is homogeneous. While there is this entire narrative, as you were saying, right, which was about slowdown, the country that we live in, right, the consumption pattern of the segments that we are at least talking to, that's not slowing down in any way. They are excited about the future. They're excited about going out and having experiences, and they are willing to spend on it.
So then tell me something, what has been the average ticket size of consumption that you have noticed? Has it been growing? Has it gone down? What projections are you working with? Because I'm sure, you know, when you go in for funding or what your investors will be asking you all of this.
Yeah. I think we've seen a homogeneous growth of around, on a year-on-year basis, I would say we've seen around 15% growth on the average order value. Our average order value is around 1,000 rupees. It's also a more, I would say, larger city phenomena because whenever people go out, you would expect them to spend 1,000 rupees. It's a little bit lower in the F&B category, higher in the fashion category, much higher in the electronics category, but the entire blend has continued to move up every year.
And simply because, it also involves in the consumer's location, taking a photograph, figuring out where the pin is. That gives you opportunities to maybe work with some of the largest mobile devices and technology companies, I would imagine.
Yeah, yeah. No, I see. It's very interesting, right? What I just spoke of, this entire retail ecosystem has been dark in terms of data. Our ability to help retailers understand, and manufacturing brands for that matter, understand who is their target segment and let them reach out to that exact target segment with a message that is very relevant to that segment is just very powerful. In a way, this entire ecosystem was being, when large companies were investing in marketing, what they were doing was that they were just advertising and they were able to live with the inefficiency. But with us, and I named some partners, but we are working with so many of these partners,
So
large and
name
small.
them
They're
now.
all, sorry, say that
Name
again?
them now.
Sure, sure. No, all the way from Shoppers Stop, Cafe Coffee Day. We are working with McDonald's, Lifestyle, Levi's, Wrangler. You practically name any of the large guys or the small guys in the retail ecosystem across F&B and fashion, and we are working with them now. The reason they are working with us is because of the fact that we can be sharp in our targeting and get them to work with us on ROIs. That concept of ROI and offline has just been absent. And the same is true. We are working with ITC, for instance, we are working with Pepsi on the manufacturing brand side, because even in that context, no one's ever seen that loop close. So all marketeers, they can invest in ATL and BTL and then expect that the returns will come back. We are able to let them see who are the people who actually respond to that marketing, and we are charging them when that transaction happens. I think that bit around being able to use data in the offline retail, that's transformative. And one thing which is even more interesting here is that the large guys can still get away with inefficient marketing, and we are slowly seeing them move in. But the smaller guys, they are not investing in local marketing at all because it's not efficient. They can send some SMSs, they can do some amount of standees, but that never converts. And we are realizing with them that the moment they work with us, they can invest 200 rupees, 2,000 rupees, 20,000 rupees, 20 lakh rupees, right? And we'll give them the exact ROI for that. And when that starts to happen, their ability to come back and invest in marketing, that is entirely opening a new market for local retailers to spend money on, which was otherwise not happening in the past. So I would say that, again, it goes back to technology and smartphones, but what this can do for offline retail, that is something that we believe we are on the front seat of bringing to these retailers and the manufacturing brands.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Anshu of Magicpin taking you through what you can expect this festive season and why offline retail can still be very exciting. It's not just about the apps on your phone. Anshu, thanks so much for joining us here on Startup Central. Appreciate you taking the time out.
Thank you so much.